Hey guys, what is going on? It is your boy Mike the Baseball Guy, and here we are with Ranked with Mike Part 2. And as you guys know, today the new 99 overall Randy Johnson just dropped, and we're going to take a look at him right now, part of the Ranked Seasons reward path. First off, if you get to 500 overall rating, you'll get the Pennant Race Choice Pack, and here you will get the choice of one of the two new rewards, both former Kansas City Royals players. Obviously Hosmer is still playing, and I think Moustakas is still playing, or maybe he's just a free agent or something. Anyways, obviously, you remember watching these guys. We have Eric Hosmer. Nothing really to speak about here, but if you're a big KC fan or a big Hosmer fan, he'll be fun to put on a theme team with that 99 overall. And similar with Mighty Moose, Mike Moustakas, I might try him out just for fun, as I've really liked his swing in past games. But the reason we're here and why we're going to be grinding, trying to get World Series, or if not, try and get the innings requirement, which is 250 innings. Wow, that's a lot. Um, we're going for this brand new perfect game Randy Johnson that he threw back in 2004 with the Arizona D-backs, and this card just doesn't even need to explaining. It is completely cracked out. Max stamina, max hits per nine, max K per nine. Those PCIs are going to be absolutely tiny, along with that outer PCI is going to be minuscule, so not even much chance of a foul ball. 106 walks per nine, which is like just really, really good for a Randy card. He's going to be not quite dotting everything, but pretty close to it. And he's got the outlier fastball, the slider, the slurve that we know that tunnels so well with it, the splitter, which acts like a changeup, and that two-seam fastball that will run away from right-handed hitters or run into lefties. I mean, what else can we say? I hope I do not run into this card online, but I do hope to get it and pitch with it at some point. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be running into ranked seasons, trying to get this card. I'm going to be using pretty much the same lineup that I used in the last video. And we're going to be pitching with 99 Jacob deGrom. So I grinded out the 30 event wins, which was very painful, but definitely worth it. I think the 99 deGrom is really, really good, and obviously is a spot on any God squad, no matter your rotation. So we're going to debut him in rank today. See how it goes, maybe go through some tips and tricks pitching with him. We're going up against the new 99 Dylan Cease from the Finest drop. I haven't really had a chance to use him yet, aside from a couple events games. So anyways, we're gonna see what we can do here.
Counts 1-0.
All right. Our usual approach here, we're just gonna be taking a lot of pitches early on, trying to get a good handle on what he's trying to throw us. So he starts with a changeup in the dirt and a sinker low. Goes again to that sinker, so we'll keep an eye out for that. He's thrown it twice out of his first 3 pitches. 2 strikes we got to defend.
Inside, ball 2.
High inside heat. Might see something off speed here, low in the zone. Could go back to that changeup low again. Oh, comes in with the hard stuff. Good mix by him. Wasn't expecting that, but we foul it off. Even count 2-2. Looking again for the slow stuff. We'll react to the heat.
Full count.
Sinker low. So he's thrown that sinker 3 times already, so maybe he really likes throwing that pitch.
3.
Oh, and he just absolutely dots us on that inside corner. So obviously, you know, it's just 1 AB. We don't have like a read or anything per se just yet, but
Ball 1.
really seems to be favoring that sinker early on, so we'll watch out for that.
Hey.
Up with Bellinger here, and wow, sorry to R2U, but he's just dotting us with that sinker, which honestly is really impressive, especially given Dylan Cease's a little bit lower walks per 9. I think it's around 80. Probably shouldn't have swung at that pitch, but 2 strikes. We're kind of in defensive mode here.
That's a ball.
Had a feeling he might go high fastball. I thought it might be up and in, but we lay off. He goes back to that sinker again. Dropped our PCI way too much there. Sinker again. I don't know. Might see something off speed here. Or he might just try and taunt us with a sinker again. Really hard to say. Thoughts us with the fastball. Great pitch. Was looking for something a little off speed, so was really behind on that one. Dropping our PCI a little bit early on here.
Hey.
There's the knuckle curve. Also, I don't think he's thrown us a slider yet, which is his primary pitch. Maybe he's waiting to use that on us. Great diving stop by Frank the Tank. Oh, and we're safe. Interesting. A little bit slow developing maybe on his end. Again, another sinker. Probably should have swung at that, but we're going to take already up to 18 pitches early on. Sinker low.
That's ball 2.
There's the slider. Down and away. Probably going to take a pitch here, even up the count.
Ball 3.
Turns into 3-1. I'm going to take here with 2 outs. If we get to he runs it to 3-2, we're just going to send Vlad. That's what we're going to do. There's that low sinker. Need to make a mechanical adjustment here. My PCI is all over the place. He strikes us out on a slider away. Good pitching by him. We do run the pitch count up a little bit. And, I mean, that's one thing that's worth saying, right? Is, worth mentioning, sorry. Even if you don't really score a run, you can still get the pitch count up and hopefully make your opponent get into that bullpen earlier than they'd expect. Alright, pitching with deGrom here. Best pitch is definitely that slider. But really with deGrom, we want to have a good read on our opponent and just see what he's where his bat speed's at and what some of his hitting tendencies are. So if he's late on fastballs, that's something we can spam as he's got that outlier. As we strike out Judge. What I noticed there, just to kind of backtrack for a second, he's taking too many leads off first. I saw he was really early on the fastball, so that's why I went to the slider.
No, he's in there.
Okay, he's being kind of cute with us here with Griffey on first. No chance we're going to pick him off with 1 lead, but maybe we can get him taking the 2nd lead, and now he's going back. Now we got him.
Yeah, he got him.
Nice. Basically, I just hit the pickoff button as soon as I saw him make that motion for that 2nd lead. All right, we've been distracted. Back to pitching with deGrom. Gonna work some outside sliders. He struck out on that with Judge. Definitely not where I wanted to put it. But again, you can see he's early. We're just gonna bury a changeup here just to see if that's really where his bat speed's at. Decent timing with that. So maybe he's catching on a little bit. That where we've only thrown the fastball, I think, 1 time. So, anyways, we'll keep an eye out on that. Just watching that bottom left-hand corner, just seeing where his bat speed's at. So back to hitting, obviously goes against what I've been saying, taking a lot of pitches early on, but I felt I might have had a read there, just given how many sinkers he's thrown us. And as soon as I saw sinker coming out of the hand, I swung at it right away. Obviously had not great timing and bad PCI placement, and it was an out of the zone pitch, so obviously that's why we grounded out. But yeah, sometimes it's worth it to take a chance. If you guess right, the reward is really high. But if you guess wrong, I mean, so what? It's 0-1, right?
Ball 4. Take your base.
4 pitch walk to Pujols. Just nothing really there that I saw that I wanted to swing at. And we're going to go back to work with Cano. And he gets us with a sinker for a double play.
He's out.
Again, had a feeling he would be going first pitch sinker. Just not great mechanical execution. But we'll keep working on it as the game goes on. Pitching with deGrom, we're going to stay away from the fastball a little bit until we see he's made an adjustment in terms of his swing timing. And a righty again, we're going to be pitching away here. Yeah, very early. We're going to go on an inside changeup just because we've been pitching outside a lot. And then again, keeping that low speed. way ahead of the changeup even. So maybe this guy's coming off of Hall of Fame or something, which is quite likely given that a lot of people were reset in the new
I know.
season.
I
Oh,
got
and
it.
that ran in way too far on Frank there. Obviously not what I was trying to do with, I believe I had 2 strikes. So anyways, we'll go back to Donaldson. High inside fastball. Just trying to get him to pop out there. Shouldn't have pitched it as much on the corner. As I mentioned in the last video, don't really want to be on the corners. Like to live more on like in between. So like this is the halfway point, in between the halfway point and the corner.
Ball, that's out.
All right, started him with the fastball out away on purpose. Then we're going to slow it down and bring it back in the zone. He was early, which is exactly what we want. We're going to slow it down even more and go back to that changeup away again. Very early. That's good. We're going to bury one in the dirt here. He actually hit that pretty hard. Guess we need to go lower in the zone. And then we're going to see what happens here. We're going to go back to the slider inside, and it was outside. Thankfully, it goes foul. He was just late, so maybe we're going to go to the fastball here. See if he's behind. And he is. Interesting. We're going to go a little bit more inside with the fastball. There we go. Perfect. I was just about to say, it doesn't always work. Oh, and there we go. Too late. So that's perfect. Really trying to just like play mind games, mess with with our opponent's timing a little bit here. He lays off the changeup, so maybe he's going to wait us out a little bit. But anyways, that at bat worked out exactly as we wanted. We kind of did a little bit of a speed creep, if you will. We went from the slow stuff with the circle in the middle of the at bat, worked it up to the slider, and then worked it up again to the fastball as we saw that he was getting progressively late on each of the pitches. Oh boy. No way. We robbed that with Vlad. Oh my goodness. We get completely bailed by the game with Vlad's nice vertical there. Wow. That's going to make our opponent not very happy. But wow, that saves 3 runs. And I was just about to say, I started with the changeup there, was hoping for something for him to roll over to get out of the inning. But you know what? I guess that works too. Obviously not the most conventional method to get out of an inning. But we're lucky and we do it. So back to work with the bats, staying patient. We have the pitcher spot up next. So I'm not exactly going to chase something crazy. We do get a single, which is nice. Off PCI, but we'll take it. And, you know, I see a lot of different things with the pitcher.
Nope.
How to approach the ABs. I just usually, as a rule of thumb, I like to take until 2 strikes. Just usually don't see a ton of upside, and I think I mentioned this in the last video, but of swinging with like less than 1 strike unless you think you're actually going to crush it. Now, deGrom's a different story. He can actually swing it, well, as I am terribly late on a fastball. But normally, if it's a average Joe pitcher, I'm just grounding out on purpose. Or sorry, striking out on purpose. Didn't swing at that. Thought I might have rolled over and turned it into double play, especially with the top of the order, sorry, turning over and having some of my favorite hitters and Brian Reynolds and Cody Bellinger coming up, and only 1 out. Thought I'd give them a chance rather than risking it. The chance of grounding it double play with our pitcher there. And we have a great base runner, obviously, with Jimmy on base. So he can score from first on a deep double. Now, we saw that sinker pretty well. It was outside the zone. We had really good PCI placement and good timing. Just, I mean, product of the game mechanics, I guess. But that's okay. Obviously, lineouts happen all the time. So that's okay. We'll try and redeem ourselves with Bellinger here, see what we can do. Shouldn't have swung at that. We're down 1-2. We're going to try and look for a sinker here. We get a sinker. Is it enough? And it is gone. Love that. The approach took us to the third inning, I will say, but it's finally kicking in. Um, that one there just, we're really just looking for sinkers. Like, he's been throwing them so often. That's what I'm looking for out of the hand. And that 94 isn't, like, totally unhittable, obviously, so I did get tripped up a little bit with a fastball earlier on with the higher velo. But yeah, that's just, classic case of sticking with our approach and it finally paying off. We had a lineup with Brian Reynolds in the bat before, and then we do the same thing, but go into the stands with Belly. Debut Belly in the last video. This is a second ranked game. Yeah, I mean, it's early on, but really liking him so far. We've hit a couple dingers and a single with him so far in four ABs. Actually, wait, that didn't count the AB in the beginning of this game, so I think I struck out or grounded out or something. Anyways, really liking that Belly card so far. Obviously, like, Mickey Mantle or whatever and Brian Reynolds are better cards. But I just, at this point in the year, it's also a bit about having fun with the card. But also, I still do really believe that Bellinger is really solid. That slider caught way too much of the plate there. He was probably expecting us. We're probably getting a little bit too predictable here. I think I've started first pitch slider quite a few times in a row. You can see he is not messing around with us on that leadoff from first. Circle missed. We're going to mix in the curveball here. We haven't thrown it in a while. Really good take by him. I think it did look good to hit. And we're going to try and tunnel. That curveball breaks out of the hand around here. So we're going to throw a fastball here. Hopefully he thinks it's the curveball, and then we blow him with the fastball. Didn't work out. Obviously not where I wanted it to be. And we're going to go inside two-seam here. Just really don't want to lose Mike with 2 outs and Frank Thomas up next. So we're going to go to our go-to pitch, which is that slider away, which he swings through. You know what? I think I'm going to get greedy and go to it one more time. Exactly what we wanted. He's been struggling a little bit with that outside slider, so that's why we doubled up. Bit risky with 3-2 full count, sending the runner.
Ball, that's outside.
But it pays off. And he throws that pitch right back at us. So that is one thing I have to say I do notice quite a bit in the show. Sometimes you can pick up weakness tendencies from your opponent by the way they pitch you. Sometimes that's what they struggle with in terms of hitting. But I mean, maybe he's using a little bit of the reverse there. He saw that we were going with that slider away, and then he would go with it as well. 2-2 count, and just as I mentioned that slider, I was kind of geared up for the sinker there way too early, and I put the PCI higher. Sinker again, just late, but we squared it up nice. Good exit velo, so maybe he stays away from that a little bit, seeing how we crank that. Get a fastball middle in, but just not enough. Not great timing. Maybe if we had a perfect, it would have been good, but we were not right in the middle there in that dark green. All good though. Go back to work with Pujols, slider away. He started us with that pitch twice in this inning, so maybe after him struggling against it, he's been using it against us a little more. He goes back to it there in the zone, but the PCI was off and the timing was good, but not great. We fly out again. That's okay though. We're still up 2-0, and we're going to go back to work here with deGrom. We're going to start off with a curveball low. Typically don't like throwing a curveball for strikes because of that. Even though he was early, sounded like he made pretty solid contact there. Late on the fastball, so seems like he slowed down his bat quite a bit after we've shown him featured the off speed a lot early on. So now we're going to go back to some slow stuff here. Seems like he's been making like pitch by pitch adjustments with bat speed. Slowing it down when we throw off speed, speeding it up after we throw the hard stuff. Let's see where he was there late. So maybe he's going to speed up his bat. We're going to do the slider away. Hopefully he rolls over it.
Nope, that's a ball.
Ooh, just missed. Great take by him. We're going to slow it down a little more. We're going to work down that kind of that speed. Oh, and tried to get a dive there with Cano. It didn't pull off for some reason. Anyways, kind of doing that speed creep, but on the way down. So fastball, slider, curveball, then would have maybe gone to the circle change there. I guess technically the circle changes a little bit faster than the curveball. But yeah, we're just trying to mess with the timing a little bit. Try and focus on our location a little bit more early on the fastball. So you know what that means. Go to the changeup. Yes, this might be a little bit predictable, but doesn't seem like he's fully caught on yet. Great take by him. We're going to go with a fastball away. He's late. We're going to do that bread and butter pitch. That slider down and away. Hopefully get a swing through. A little bit too low. Going to go to it again, but elevate it more on the belt high level. Great take by him. You know, really good adjustment by our opponent. Seems to be having a really good read of our slider out of the hand. So I'm going to mix it up, and I'm going to do a little bit of a front door slider that goes at the top of the zone and almost gets taken out of the park. But yeah, it's all about mixing those pitches, mixing those speeds. I don't know why he's running with Frank here. Interesting. Second out of third. We'll take it. But yeah, we're going to have to mix up our sequencing a little bit. Seems like we might be getting a little too predictable here.
Ball! That pitch is out.
Try that front door slider again. Middle plate, late, interesting. I might just toss a fastball up here, just see where his pitch, his batted speed is at. He goes for it, very late, and we're going to bury the changeup. Early, interesting, okay. And then, yeah, we're going to go to that away slider. He has gotten a read on it, but after we went up with the fastball, down with the changeup, I thought it'd be a good time to mix left and right, so I went back to that slider, which is a really good left to right movement pitch, obviously. We get a quit, another early quit. I mean, kind of what, I guess you might expect at this stage of ranked seasons at this point. You know, late in the game, saw it last year with MLB 21. Unless it's a one-run or tie game, people typically don't stick around it for too long. That's okay. We're going to go into game 2. I'm just going to check my pitcher energy here. Yeah, sadly, deGrom is down to 0. But you know what? Let's get a debut in for... Alright, sorry, not a debut. I think I've used them already. Yeah, I think I threw him in events once, and then I pitched with him in ranked seasons. I think I threw like 7 innings, giving up like 4 or 5 runs. So sorry, I stand corrected, not a debut. But let's go with this Max Scherzer, deGrom's teammate. Will be an interesting theme for the video. And just a reminder for you guys, I'm sure most of you guys already know, but if you go to the collections tab over here, go to Legends and Flashbacks, and then go to MLB The Show 2022 Finest. If you collect 20 cards, you get this Max Scherzer. And I really think it's worth it. He's obviously not the best pitcher in the game. deGrom is obviously better. He has lower velo, worse per nines. But 117 obviously will play at this stage in the game. 109k per nine, not the best, but still will go. What I really do like about this card is that 115 walks per nine, which I guess is 114 stock since I have him parallel 1. But I just really like the controller. You're going to have really small pars. You can dot that fastball just below each of the corners, mix in that circle change. And then it's interesting. He has 3 pitches that break away from righties or into lefties, which at the onset might seem like a bit of a problem, but I think that the pitch speed differential works really well between the slider, cutter, and slurve. The cutter being the fastest of the 3 at 92, the slider about 5 miles an hour slower, so enough to just to throw your opponent off a little bit. But then what's really nice is you have that slurve down at 76 miles an hour. Doesn't tunnel quite as well as Randy's slurve and slider combo, I've just found personally. Maybe he does for you. But it's a good combo. You can throw those 3 in a row almost with varying pitch speeds, and they look and break kind of similarly, so it's a good way to kind of trip up your opponent. Obviously the 4-seam fastball, which just stays true, but then we do have that circle change that breaks in, so it's not like you're pitching with a card that doesn't have anything that breaks in, which I typically don't like too much. Anyways, I'm talking too much. We're going to go hop back into ranked, and we're going to debut this Scherzer. And one tip I do, you might have heard the sound in the background. I just press left on the D-pad when we're searching for a game. I mean, typically I'd try looking for an opponent that's at a similar rating near me. So that way, sorry, you'll move up or down and more of an appropriate rating rather than facing someone that's way better than you and getting smoked. But if you do beat them, obviously it's higher risk, higher reward. But obviously you don't get much of a boost if you're playing someone at a much lower rating. And on the flip side, if you have a bad game and you lose, then your rating will be sent tumbling down. So yeah, same lineup again. I'm still getting used to this lineup a little bit. We're going up against 99 Vida Blue, who I have not seen in a couple months. So this will be interesting. Looks like he's trying to level up or get XP for the milestone program. This whole lineup is full of milestone players. But that's cool. I haven't come up against this JD Martinez yet in ranked. He has really good power as we throw a fastball down the middle, but he's late. So did get a little bit of info there from our opponent. Just glad he didn't take it into the seats.
Inside ball.
He lays off, so he's got a little bit of a good eye here. We're just going to try and mix around this pitch speed here in the first AB. Just really trying to get a read. Not trying to do anything too crazy. Really good swing by him. He's going to get a double off that. Probably should have dove with Bellinger there. We did have Reynolds backing him up, but it's okay. We're going to look at that. Yeah, that caught way too much of the zone. Wanted that to go in, so we're going to try a sequence of his breaking pitches inside. We're going to start with a cutter. Okay, well, he flies out, so we'll try to the next batter. The idea here is I'm still testing this out a little bit, but I do like those pitches that kind of move the same way, but at different speeds with different breaks.
That's out.
Okay, so that's okay. He takes it. Now we're going to follow that up with a slurve at the same starting point, and then see if he chases it. Whoa, that was not where I wanted, and we get taken. Deep for a 2-run bomb to start the game. Well, not technically start the game, but on the third batter. Super unfortunate. Wanted it to end up more over here, which we're just going to try and locate.
1-0.
Obviously a hanging curveball, never ideal. He did go for it. He did check swing in time, though. So we'll keep that in mind
1-1.
going forward.
One ball.
All right, that's where he wanted the slider. Was really early. Seems like he was geared up for the fastball. And I'm going to try and tunnel it a little bit here with the slurve. Kind of the similar arm angle as the slider. And exactly what there's the result we wanted. He rolls over it
Out.
way early on it after that slider, which Scherzer doesn't quite get up to 90, so not as hard as deGrom. But it's still pretty fast, I guess, relative to his other pitches. Not really his fastball, but like the cutter and the slurve and the changeup.
Ball. That's inside.
Almost caught him looking there. We're going to go mix it up a little bit. Go with a backdoor cutter inside.
Ball. That's in.
Missed our spot. We're going to go with a slurve below the zone here. See if he chases it. Still trying to figure out our opponent.
The count is 3-1.
Oof, looked like he wanted it. We're just going to throw in the heat there. Don't want to put Johnny Bench on base.
3-2.
And he's late. We're going to do the same thing, but inside. Try and mess with that inside timing window a little bit. Bench doesn't have the best swing. And he looks at it, and we get out of the inning. We give up 2 there. Not the most ideal start, obviously. But it's still super early on. And we'll try and claw our way back here with the hitting. So, interesting start to the AB. There's this really high changeup. But you guys already know the drill. I'm just taking a lot here, especially in this second inning. Just trying to figure out what he likes to throw us.
Ball 2. The count is 2-1.
3 pitches, 3 different pitches so far. Changeup, fastball, slider. Probably should have swung at that, but we'll take it. Interesting he went down the middle there. And we time up the fastball. Not perfect, obviously, but we're way under it. So we fly out. That's okay, though. Probably going to jinx myself, but seeing the fastball okay so far. And then we go lefty-lefty here. So probably expecting a lot of sliders away. That's kind of the typical playbook against the lefty. With a hard thrower, go slider away, fastball up and in. He starts us out with a loopy curve. First time he's broken that out this game. So it looks like he's trying to mix in all the pitches early on. Thought I was going to get that fastball, but I was way too late and it was way too inside.
We got 2 balls, 1 strike.
Fastball up and away. He's been working around the zone a little bit, so we'll see where he goes here.
Ball, that's off the plate.
Changeup away. Really good mix with that fastball and the changeup. Like, it's such a big pitch speed differential. It's a good mix by him.
Full count.
Ooh, up and in fastball on him, just way too late. So got to gear up for that. Might get a slider away here.
Ball 4. Take your base.
Get the changeup down and in. We take it for ball 4. Saw that one all the way. And now we got Vlad, who is my favorite swing in the game and my favorite to use against lefties especially.
Ball 1. Counts 1-0.
Starts with a curveball in. Might go fastball away here. Oop. Somehow that got by him. He goes with a changeup down the middle that hangs. We're going to try and score here with 80 speed Cody Bellinger. We should be fine.
Now he's in there. He's
Anything less than 80 speed probably wouldn't have risked it. But Bellinger has pretty good base running ability as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I felt okay sending him there. Two-seamer looked like the four-seam reached out a little bit.
Ball 1.
Speeds us up with a four-seamer down to the zone, but we saw that one.
Hey, 2.
And he comes back to us and dots us on the inside. Got to defend with 2 strikes.
That's a ball.
Probably would have froze me there, full disclosure. Goes back to that curveball again. Seems like he's really liking it. I haven't seen the slider actually too much. There we go. We get the fastball up and in. Is this going to go? No, it's not. But we're going to go ahead and take third. Oh, thought I might have had that one there. Saw it well. But yeah, the PCI obviously was not great. Comes right at us with a fastball. He's not wasting any time. Fastball again. Oh, and he's going to catch this, isn't he? That'll end the inning. Kind of unfortunate. But that's okay. We get one back. Still early days, but glad that we were able to put a little bit of a stop into his momentum there on the offensive side. Back to work with Scherzer. Not pitching him the same way as deGrom, obviously, but sort of similar, I guess. But with slower speeds. He's really early on that slider. We're going to go to a changeup away. Way too outside. No way he was biting on that one. And then we're going to go with a belt-high fastball away. And he rolls over it. Nice.
Got him.
So we mix up the speeds there, go slider, then work down to changeup, and then go back up to that 96-mile-an-hour fastball. I'm going to start with a low changeup. Then we're going to probably work in some sliders.
Ball 1, no strikes.
Seems like he wanted that one. Not my favorite pitch here, but he has thrown it to us a couple times, so maybe he has weakness with it.
Aye.
The low fastball. He lays off. Interesting. And you know what? I'm just going to go back to the circle change tunnel. I'm going to start it off the exact same place as the fastball. And then see if we can get a swing through here. Takes it to second. He was late, so it looks like he was watching it all the way. And you know, put a good swing, inside-out swing by him. It was just below the zone, which is exactly where we wanted it, so can't really complain.
Off the plate, ball 1.
Exactly where I wanted that slider. He didn't chase. That's okay. We're going to try and bring that slurve back, assuming we don't absolutely hang it for something that he can take out of the park. Okay.
On the tag. Out.
Caught him sleeping, didn't go back. That's a free out. We'll take it and get Hannes off the base path. That's always a positive. All right, so we start off with that slider away. We're going to try and throw a strike here on the inside half of the plate. Oh, Jimmy's too short. We jammed him there. Got a bit lucky with poking that one back up the middle. But you know what? He seems to be adjusting pretty well to those inside pitches. So we'll give him credit.
Nope, that's a ball. Counts 1-0.
The pitcher up. We're just going to try and get out of this inning as quickly as possible as I missed 2 pitches. But yeah, with 2 outs, we're not messing around. Let's just try and get right after him. Lazy fly out to left, and we end the inning. So no runs come across there. Hopefully we can settle in a little bit more with Scherzer here. And then, yeah, we'll just keep chipping away with the bats, and then hopefully build a little bit of our lead for a starter. Another first pitch curveball, so we'll keep that in the back of our head. I'm trying to remember what he usually goes to after maybe a fastball.
Outside,
Yeah.
that's a ball.
It was away, watched it all the way. Maybe he breaks that slider in, or I go fastball again here. Went fastball, we take it the other way for a double. Oh, please make it.
No,
Luckily, he threw to the cutoff man and we get bailed out. Kind of underestimated the arm there in right field. So, we get lucky.
Ball, that pitch is
There's
out.
that slider away I've been waiting to see. Probably goes up and in fastball.
One ball, one strike.
Up and, yeah, way too late. We did have the BCI on it at least. Change up low, good mix of speeds by him. Definitely caught me out of my front foot. Had a feeling that curveball was coming.
Got him.
But, yeah, I timed it up okay, I guess. It was good, but it went to the third base, so... Anyways, not the best swing here. With the pitcher up, we're going to be really aggressive in this AB. Please leave. Oh, come on. Jimmy. Oh, second pitch, second fastball that we've taken. Just tried to jump the fastball. And the reason why I'm swinging first pitch there is
Ball, that's it.
with our pitcher on deck. I mean, yeah, actually, you know what? We did have 1 out there, so even if he walks Jimmy, then we have 2 outs with Scherzer. I probably strike out on purpose and then give Brian Reynolds a chance. But you know what?
That's ball 2.
I don't know. I just had a feeling there. I wanted to try and jump him first pitch with Jimmy Rollins, and then, you know what? If we get out here with Scherzer, we'll turn it over to the top of the lineup, fresh start in the next inning. Oh, was kind of hoping that would be a single. You know what? Not a bad swing with Scherzer there. Can't complain. But yeah, we'll get a fresh start at the top of the inning. The next inning. Wish I did some damage there, especially with that nice swing we put on that ball with Jimmy Rollins, but just didn't get good enough BCI square up on that one. Alright, I kind of forgot about this cutter a little bit, admittedly. Been throwing the slider a little bit too much.
Out.
Kind of a product of pitching with deGrom. I just really love deGrom slider. So naturally, just kind of muscle memory, I'm doing a bit of the same thing here with Scherzer. So I'm going to try and feature that cutter a little bit more and work it in with the slider. Alright, off that slurve, we're going to work the slider. Hopefully it looks similar out of the hand. Oh, nice bunt by him. He's going to get a base hit here.
Safe.
99 speed. Good read on him. He catches us sleeping. Wasn't paying attention with who was at the plate. Was more focused on the sequencing there. So good job by him. Nice bunt by Pierre.
0-1.
Way early on that. Or wait, way early. Ooh. I stand corrected. Just visually looked like he was
1-1.
early, but I guess he was late. That's my bad.
Aye.
That was a meatball. Thank goodness he didn't swing. We're going to bury a changeup in the dirt here and then try and elevate a fastball off of it. Won't need to, though, as he swings through. We get strike 3. And with 2 outs, that will bring Killebrew to the plate. So he's adjusted decently well to those inside pitches. If I remember correctly, he took us up the middle for a single last time off an inside changeup. So we're going to work outside. We get a lazy fly ball that, or what do you call it, soft liner, I guess, to center field that almost fell in for a base hit. But Jimmy has that nice max speed and good range, so we get out of the inning. Exactly what we wanted. All right, top of the order, bottom of the third. We've got Vida's pitch count up to 35 in 2 innings, which is pretty decent. We're going to try and keep that elevated, see if we can get into his bullpen early on.
Nope. Outside.
2 fastballs to start the at-bat. I'm guessing he goes to off-speed here. We're going to watch that curveball at the bottom of the zone. And we get it, but it was outside. I was a little too excited to swing it. Didn't watch it all the way, and was pretty late actually on it. So it's kind of one of those cases where you have a read, but just didn't execute mechanically. High fastball that we're late on and dropped the PCI. Got to be more ready for that. We get the curveball. We kind of not smashed it, but felt good, just way too late.
Ball.
Goes back to that curveball. Seems to be he's favoring that curveball a lot over the slider. Take a mental note of that going forward.
2-2 the count.
Just as I speak of that, he throws a slider in the dirt, but we didn't chase. Fastball here. Oof. Fooled us with a slider. Really good adjustment by him. Not necessarily an adjustment, sorry, but really just good pitching by him. Maybe he did think we were going fastball there, and he dropped the front door slider on us. We get the curveball. Sounded okay off the bat, but we're way too on top of it with that PCI. Unfortunately, a quick 1-2-3 inning. Basically, whatever I say, it's the opposite. I want to run the pinch count high, and then ended up getting out of the inning without many pitches thrown. But that's okay. We'll go back to work with Scherzer. Gonna wait till he stops outdoing us. There we go.
Ball. That's just out.
Seems like he's seeing that slider away decently well. He did flail at it last inning, but
I got the count. 1-2.
way late on the fastball. We're just going to elevate one way high here and just kind of get a read on where his bat speed is at. Kind of a waste pitch. He takes it. That'll set up the changeup. You know what? We're going to go the low and away changeup. So hopefully if we hit our spot here, it looks like it's going outside. And then at the last minute, it'll break in. Caught way too much of the plate, ended up middle low, but that's okay. The pitch speed mix-up was enough for us to get his timing off. So that's why it's like you need 2 things, right? You need the location and the timing, but sometimes you can get away with if you mix up the timing, even if you have a bad location, you can get bailed. Really nice slider there, perfect release. Super early, looks like he's still geared up for that fastball, so we're going to go to the changeup that fades away. Hopefully he grounds this out to the third baseman. Doesn't swing at it. And we're going to try and tunnel the fastball here. The changeup breaks low, so we start the fastball higher. Missed our spot. Going to go back to the slurve down and in. Again, just really trying to put him in a bit of a rocking chair here. As he rolls over, easy out. And yeah, like probably sound like a broken record here, but just really trying to throw off the timing. Without trying to make it too obvious, maybe I'll try and double up a couple times just to let him know that we're not going to change the pitch after every single at-bat. Alright, going to tunnel this cutter away here, right off that fastball. Looks similar out of the hand. He swings at it, and he's late. Try and bust him up with the fastball in here. Been showing in a lot of off-speed. Exactly what you wanted. Got a nice jam. That's not a typical sequence, but if he takes that first fastball away, you can tunnel the cutter off of that, so it breaks off the plate. So if he does swing at it thinking it's a fastball, not only is it a little bit slower, but it is outside of the zone. And then once he gets slow to that slower outside, we go right back in and bust him up inside with a fastball. Again, that curveball, seeing that curveball a lot. Goes back to the slider there. 1-2, we're going to protect. Really not sure what he's going to throw here. Goes back to that curveball, and we get a good piece of it, but looks like it's going to be another warning track shot. Actually, it leaves. Nice. So we get a home run by Miguel Cabrera to even up the game. Thought I might have had the same thing happen to me there with Cabrera earlier on, and Jimmy Rollins just a couple innings ago.
2 balls, no strikes.
Couple of fastballs. Seems like he likes throwing those fastballs to lefties. Might break out the curveball here low and away.
Ball 3.
It was a changeup. That changeup, I mean, I haven't pitched with Vita Blue much, but that changeup, at least from a batting perspective, looks like a really good pitch. If he starts to mix that in more, we're going to have to make an adjustment. Speak of which, he throws the... Actually, we're going to stay at first here. Oh, we're going to go second. Oh. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm all over the place. I thought he would be still rounding the bag, but he ended up kind of stopping on the base, so that's why we couldn't get the second there. Man, honestly, everything I say seems the opposite, so maybe I should say I'm going to strike out, then I'm going to hit a home run. That's funny. Anyways, threw that changeup way too high, but we also saw it well out of the hand just because it was that exact same pitch that he threw, so maybe we'll see if he doubles up on changeups again here, but probably won't, seeing how he smacked it.
I got the count. Oh,
Good mix by him on the speeds. Might get something slow here. Slider in. Not that I'm going to mentally rule out the changeup, but just given that we totally smashed it, I think he's going fastball.
That's ball 2.
Totally wrong there. Exact opposite again, but... yeah, then we just get diced by that dotted fastball. Really good pitching by him. Just, even though I was looking for it, just, yeah, but that was way too slow.
0-1.
Still way too slow. He's been throwing a lot of off speed, so we got to speed it back up.
Ball, that's outside.
Looks like he is going to throw that until we prove otherwise.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Check swing there, but definitely went.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Fastball in. Let's see where he goes here. I'm thinking he wants off speed low and away.
3-2.
Goes up and away. Up and away again. Pretty much the same pitch. We hit it nice, but just didn't drop for us, unfortunately. We get Jimmy up. Okay, and this is really a spot where I'm going to be aggressive. If I see a pitch I like early on that's close to the zone, I'm swinging. That's because we have the pitcher up next. May as well go for it. Only got a single there. Didn't really get the best contact. But, like, why not? If we hit a double in the gap, we can maybe score, even if we get lucky and hit a homer there. So, that's why I'm being aggressive.
1-0.
Pitcher again. You already know the formula. Just waiting till we get 2 strikes. Still early up in a game where I'm trying to get up that pitch count.
The count is 1-2.
He's at 68 right now. Obviously, we're swinging with 2 strikes, but thought that might go for a ball, so thought that it was worth to see if there'd be a chance to extend the at-bat, but unfortunately we don't. That's okay. Again, we will turn over the lineup,
0-1's the count.
but we're tied. So we're in an okay spot. Gotta try and put some runs up as we
I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
turn into the second half of the game after this half inning. Pretty quiet game relatively so far. Jumped on us early on that first inning, but we've really settled in nicely with Scherzer. And I don't know. Let me know how you guys usually find your rank season experience, but I find I'm usually really slow right off the bat, both in terms of pitching and hitting. And then kind of warm up and then get going from there. That pitch is just so slow. Even though it was in a pretty hittable location, we get away with one there.
Ball 1, no strikes. The count's 1-1.
All right, against the pitcher here, just gonna try and throw in some fastballs. For some reason, I missed on the first 2 again.
I got the count 1-2.
But yeah, we're just trying to get a quick out here, not trying to burn our energy too much. We're at 58 pitches, so we can probably go quite a bit longer. And yeah, we'll just, I mean, as long as Scherzer's doing okay, more than half stamina, so we're gonna run with him and just see how far he can take us in this game.
Aye.
All right, start with the slider. Gonna follow that up with a fastball in, and then go with changeup away.
0-2 is the count.
We're super late there. Gonna try and dot this. Probably will miss, but it's okay if it does. Or I meant miss outside, not there. And then we're gonna go with the cutter. Kind of the same sort of starting point based on the pitch result. Really good eye by him. Try and bust them up again with the fastball in. He's late. Alright, so looks like he's late on those fastballs again, so maybe that's something we can try and take advantage of over the next inning until he shows us that he's going to speed up his bat again. Really close game, obviously tied 5 hits apiece.
1-1.
We both have a home run. Doing pretty well with our starters.
Ball.
There's that curveball again, laying off. I think at this point in the game, I'm mostly looking for that fastball. Slider looked good, but just we're too late on it. Watched it a little bit too long. 2-2, could go anywhere with this.
3-2.
Goes with the slider in that we lay off. I want to say fastball here. Definitely not. Goes to the curveball and we line out, unfortunately. But we had pretty good timing on it. We squared it up nice. So again, you are going to line out. Obviously, not everything you square up is going to go for a hit. So just trying to repeat that process and then hopefully see some balls land in the outfield. Inside with the two seam. Up and in with the fastball. I was way late on it. Don't know why I swung at that if I wasn't geared up for it.
1 ball.
Fastball down. I was almost looking curve there. But now we're just going to have to make the adjustment and react to that fastball. Goes with the slider that we get a pretty good piece of there and bang it up back the middle for a base hit. So our approach there was a little more reactionary. He's been doing a pretty good mix of different pitches. He was starting us off a lot with that curve, but he's been working the slider in a bit more as well. Even that two seam running away from us. Oh, we get lucky. Thought I was going to ground into a double play there. Really rolled over that slider, that front door slider. We get a chance here with Miggy. This is a pretty big AB. He absolutely dots us on the outside. Really nice pitch.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Change up low. Looks like he's getting comfortable with that again. Oh, we hit that really hard. Unfortunately, we line out straight to the center field. But yeah, with first and second, 1 out. That was the big AB. We got 106 exit velo on that too, which felt nice. But unfortunately, didn't get the launch angle. Late on that fastball with Joe. See if we can do some damage here.
The count, 0-2.
Way late. Might go to off speed here. And we get that perfect. Felt that slider or the curveball was coming. We're going to score with 82 with that fumble in the outfield. It's going to put us up 4-2. Really big AB there by Joe Mauer. Love to hear that crack of the bat on the perfect. And all over that curveball. Kind of back to when early on he was throwing us that curveball first pitch. So maybe he was, I don't know, my thought process there. And again, not going to be right every time, obviously. Maybe he was a little bit tilted and then just kind of went with his go-to pitch.
Counts 1-0.
Right off the next batter. And we were ready for it. Throwing that curveball a lot again. Interesting. Maybe because he squared up that slider. Ooh, that would have been nice, but we're really late. And off PCI. But you know what? Can't complain. Pretty good inning. We put up 3 there and take the lead 5-2, giving us a little bit more breathing room with Scherzer here, which we like to see. And again, might get a bunt here out of Juan Pierre. Thankfully, we don't. Really, I would recommend though setting your infield defense by pressing on the D-pad and then just pulling your infield in for that batter. Um, what I really like to do, and which I really just demoed it to show you guys, obviously you bring the third baseman in, like that's textbook, but also bring the second baseman in because if he bunts it early and your second base is like playing where he is now, as you can see in the
Ball two.
background there, like there's no shot he's gonna get to that ball, even though it's a short throw from short. So, oh, Miggy with the dive, but I don't think we get
Safe.
62 speed Pujols here, unfortunately. But you know what? Good defensive effort by Miggy, who's not the best there defensively at third. But you know what? The idea was right. We threw that slurve away, hoping he would roll over it, which he kind of did. Just a little bit unfortunate that Miggy wasn't in position to field that ball perfectly. It's okay. We have one out. Harmon Killebrew is up. We're going to try and jam him with an inside fastball. Now we're going to go to that away changeup. And again, the goal here is roll over for an inning-ending double play. Beautiful pitch. Do not look at that pinpoint. I obviously got super lucky. Not the greatest release. But you know what? We've missed that changeup a lot, so it feels good to have it land exactly where we wanted it this time. Jammed him with the changeup in. We get out of the inning. And this game is, obviously it's a mind game, so a lot of it's about momentum as well. Just once you get that a big like 3-run inning there that breaks open the tie game, just having a quick shutdown inning is really good to keep that momentum going. And obviously going to try and continue it here, but it's really nice to follow it up with a good stop there. Jimmy, please leave. It's gone. Jimmy Rollins goes deep. He's been throwing that high fastball many, many times, and we finally catch on and catch up to it. Looks like we're going to get a quit here, and we do. That's the end of the second game, so you know what? First two ranked seasons games of the new seasons, we get 2 quits. We debuted the deGrom, we debuted the Max Scherzer, we get Scherzer parallel 2. Aside from that 2-run home run early on, pretty happy with how I pitched in that game. Let's take a look at the stat line. 6 innings, 6 hits, not ideal. 2 earned runs, obviously, off the home run by Pujols in the first inning. But we did have 6 strikeouts, which on All-Star is pretty solid to have anything close to a K per 9 of 9, given that All-Star tends to be a little bit of a foul ball simulator. But yeah, that'll do it for the video. Hopefully you guys learned something new. Obviously, I'm learning as well as I'm posting this content, which I really enjoyed so far. This is the second Ranked with Mike. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know who you guys want to see being used in the comments below for the next video. On the squad right now, we have Aaron Nola at max energy along with Roy Halladay. So I think that might make a good video doing kind of similar to this one, back-to-back rank games. Obviously not of teammates, but of 2 players of the same team. Obviously, Halladay is a Blue Jay for life, but he's a pitcher for the Phillies on his card. So we're gonna go with Nola. Little preview here: control artist, nearly max walks per 9. Then followed up with Doc, who is also control artist and has that max hits per 9, a little bit lower K per 9, but he's got the amazing pitch mix, cutter, sinker, splitter. Probably won't feature the curveball much, but tune into the next video and see what we do. All right, thanks guys, and see you guys next time.